Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spitball Sports Show. I'm Jacob. Joining me, as always, is Brian. Today, we'll recap Week 7 of the NFL, talk about some games that surprised us, that didn't really surprise us, as well as talk about our own teams. I'll discuss my Giants. Brian will discuss his Eagles. And then, of course, we'll talk about Thursday night football, our picks and predictions for how that game is going to go. So, with that said, Brian, how are you doing? And what do you think of Week 7?
Hey Jacob, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Week seven was, I'd say, it was pretty amazing, man. We had some really crazy games. We're obviously gonna talk about them a little later on, but for the most part, they were all pretty exciting. Both our teams got wins, so I think that's a good week for both of us. Uh, yeah, man, I'm excited to be talking about these games.
Heck yeah, I am too. We'll get into our team wins later. We'll talk about some of the other games that happened that really surprised us. One of them we were just talking about before we hopped on here was the Browns and the Colts. Oh my gosh!
Dude, what a good
So
game!
you rewatched it. You watched the highlights. I hadn't seen anything from the game. What happened?
What didn't happen? The Browns defense absolutely killed it, man. They were on fire. Miles Garrett, oh my god, he wasn't in talks for defensive MVP before this, but now he attacked TJ Watt, Nick Bosa. Y'all better watch out because this dude stepped it up, man. Browns had 4 sacks, a bunch of strip sacks. They had a safety as well, so just a bunch of things. They even had a blocked field goal. So you don't see that too often nowadays. High scoring game, 39-38. The way it ended was some kind of bullshit penalties on the Colts. Didn't really help them out. So I think it was a pass interference, which I don't know if you ever. You said you didn't watch it, but so basically the PJ Walker throws it super wide to the corner for a touchdown, and it was just way out of bounds. It was way out of bounds, and somehow they called pass interference on that. It was ridiculous. It was one of those plays where it's like, hey, it's the fourth quarter, it's the last 2 minutes, everyone's playing super tough. Like, it's not called on both sides. Bullshit call, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Browns were able to scoot a win.
Yeah, it looks like it was the most exciting game I didn't watch all week. It was the most high scoring game of the
Yeah,
week by
yeah.
far. Um, I'll have to rewatch it or watch some highlights from that because that looks crazy. I do like PJ Walker from his XFL time, but sounds like he's not doing so well.
Dude,
Um,
so bad. He went 15 for 32.
oh my god,
178 yards and interception. He has not been great. He's been
no,
overthrowing, underthrowing, just
no
not
touchdown
great.
passes either.
No touchdown passes.
Oh man, what's going
Yeah.
on?
I'd, it's just different caliber of quarterbacks like you're talking about last week. The difference between an XFL quarterback and an NFL quarterback is night and day. And while they're getting the win, but at the same time, it's mostly because of his defense. Like, they've been absolutely carrying them. That and the run game as well. His run game has been great. Jerome Ford, 74 yards, 1 touchdown. So it was it was a crazy game. Even for a player like Amari Cooper, he only had 2 receptions. He was barely seen. Like, their receiving game has not been great. Amari Cooper has been nowhere. But
Mm,
yeah, man, it's just 15 for 32 is not great.
it's not good. That was Jerome Ford kind of picking up the slack from Nick Chubb, filling his role while he's going to be gone.
Yeah, him and Kareem Hunt. So they both had a pretty decent game. Kareem Hunt, I think, was still battling with a little bit of a thigh injury as well. He was still playing, but yeah,
Yeah,
Ford definitely stepped it up. If any fantasy owners were lucky to pick him up, then good on them because he's been pretty great. Yeah, Kareem Hunt was able to get 2 touchdowns in there.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that definitely
depth.
helped their win.
Yeah, definitely, it was definitely a running game. Uh, just again with the inconsistency of PJ Walker. Deshaun Watson went out kind of early with a supposed concussion. I don't know. He didn't play the last game against the 49ers. He doesn't seem, people seem to be talking to where like he's kind of like not in it all the way, or just there's some mental health stuff going on, or he's just not motivated. I mean, the guy's being paid almost 200-300 million dollars. He better find some freaking motivation.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they can do now. I mean, the Browns 4-2 record. Like they can definitely make a playoff run,
dude.
if they get
That's
that
crazy.
quarterback situation under control.
Yeah, they have a really, I mean, 4-2 over and a win over the 49ers team. That's absolutely amazing. They're definitely carrying momentum right now. I'm not sure who they play next week, but they better watch out.
Looks like they play the Seahawks.
Oh, ooh, that's gonna be an interesting one.
Should be a good one.
I mean, if that Browns defense can keep it up, they'll definitely keep the game super close. If it is a concussion, I think Deshaun Watson might be out, but even then, he hasn't been playing great either. So if they find a way to win with PJ Walker, then just keep going with it, I guess.
I'm rooting for him for sure, especially against the Seahawks. I'm okay with them beating the Seahawks.
You just hate the Seahawks, brother.
Well, the Cardinals play them twice a year, and the Giants have had their issues with the Seahawks. I used to like them. I have a Seahawks jersey.
Oh yeah,
from the mid 2000s. Yeah, they used to be one of my favorite teams, but kind of fell off. Like I said, the run-ins with the Giants, I've had enough of them.
Bad taste in your mouth.
Bad taste in my mouth. Not the good kind of bad taste either. I do like Pete Carroll as a coach, though. He's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Dude, he's like almost 80. He's like almost 80 years old, and he looks fucking great.
He does.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's doing something.
Something's all right. We got to figure that out.
Or whatever you call it. Oh, cool. Enough about the terrible Seahawks, who actually beat the Cardinals 10-20.
Pretty convincingly, yeah.
Yeah, pretty convincingly. I don't have much to say about the Cardinals game. They'll be better off once they get Kyler Murray in there. We'll say
Hopefully.
that. I like Josh Dobbs, but it's like, I mean, Kyler's just so much more talented.
Mm-hmm.
He can make plays happen. He can extend plays. He is the man they're missing right now.
Absolutely, they need a game changer for sure. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that James Conner's out too, and then Zach Ertz is out as well. Now he's on IR as well. So
man, the team's fragmented right now.
Yeah,
I mean, playoffs obviously out of the question at this point.
Yeah,
because you have a couple teams that are fighting for a wild card spot. Going to be either the Cowboys or the Eagles. Probably the Cowboys. Seahawks, since the Niners are obviously taking the division, and then a third team. Who knows who that one's going to be? But everybody's going to be competing for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our NFC.
Yeah,
could be a lot. I mean, if the Vikings keep turning around, could potentially be them. I doubt it'll be my Giants. Who knows, man?
Who knows? Any given Sunday, right?
Any given Sunday. And speaking about Sunday, let's talk about some of the other games. So you had reviewed the Browns and Colts game. I reviewed, unfortunately, the Bills and the Patriots game because I missed it. I wanted to know what happened to the Bills. My goodness, man. The Patriots were shellacking the Bills. They were killing them throughout most of the game. Josh Allen, not good judgment calls, per the usual with him, causing a lot of issues for his team.
Inconsistent. Just the definition of inconsistency. You're gonna see the Bills in there. This is like,
and it's like, yeah, he bangs out over 250 yards routinely. He threw for 265 yards.
Yeah,
2 touchdowns. But then it's like the interception he threw led to a score from the Patriots. And just not great calls. He did lead a fourth quarter comeback where they scored 14 unanswered. I believe it was 14 unanswered. Yeah. But then at the end, defense for the Bills couldn't hold the freaking Patriots. Waltz right into the end zone. This just a collapse, dude.
And that's the crazy part. So like you said, he's 14 unanswered points. Like that's like great, right?
That's the Josh Allen.
That's the Josh Allen. And then he goes and just does nothing and just does a bonehead play. Like I get he's trying to extend the play. He's trying to do something, but like, come on, man.
And it's like they wasted 3/4 of the game not being very successful. It's like most of their points came in the fourth quarter from those unanswered 14 points with his comebacks. It's like, yeah, the comebacks are great, but obviously it's not going to win you games. If you don't have enough from earlier in the game, just like against the Giants last week or week before last, I guess now, where it's like completely scoreless first 3 quarters of the game,
right,
from Josh Allen and the Bills against the Giants, who've been struggling all season. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing? 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter again.
Right.
Really strange, very strange play from them. Run
It's
game
definitely
is like not much. James
right.
Cook had 56 yards. Diggs wasn't even their top receiver either that night. He had 58 yards. Dalton Kincaid actually had more. He had 75 yards.
Who? Who?
Are you being serious? Or are you just messing around?
I just messing.
Dalton Kincaid. LeBron James' favorite tight end.
Dude, LeBron James, man. That dude's got some NFL insider knowledge, man. We need to get on that
He
stats.
knows what he's talking about. Well, anyway, but I mean, the Patriots, they looked all right, but I'm not gonna say they're a good team based on that. Like, the Bills are just falling apart right now. The Patriots, yeah, they had a good game. Mac Jones had a really good game. He threw for 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Very accurate, 25 out of 30. So it's like he had a freaking fantastic game.
Do you think Patriots fans are upset about that win? Just because,
Why's that?
I feel like they're like on a decline, and with what they have right now, they're not going to go anywhere. And they were kind of seeming like they're going to be a lottery team, right? So the fact that they were able to muster out this win, that just lowers them in the NFL draft lottery. Like, I feel like I would just rather just them throw the season and just obviously, I mean, you don't want to tank, but at the same time, it's like I'd rather get a lottery pick because this team ain't going. They've had some really, really bad games. This was an amazing game, but I mean, again, it's the Bills who are inconsistent as heck. So
yeah, it's like the Bills, if they go up against the Chiefs, in a couple weeks, it's going to be like a 40 points each team, double overtime.
yeah,
Thing. It's like, yeah, you have no idea what you're going to get out of them. Patriots kind of like the same boat as the Bears, where it's like the fans, yeah, they're probably happy about their win, but yeah, they probably want a quarterback. It sounds like they want to
yeah,
get rid of Justin Fields.
yeah, especially with how exciting like these quarterback prospects are or appear to be in this college season. Like, who knows? They could definitely get like a star or two out of them.
Yeah, sounds like at least 3 of them are going to be
Mhm.
really good. At least 3.
In theory.
In theory, they could all turn out to be busts.
Yeah.
You never know. College is so different.
College is crazy, man. I don't people that bet it or get like it is heartbreaking, dude. We've talked about it before. It's not for the weak-hearted.
No, I wouldn't even go down that rabbit hole if you could avoid it. It's just, you're just waiting for an upset, or you bet on an upset and that doesn't happen.
Right.
It's so unpredictable.
The spreads are crazy.
What was it? The Alabama-Tennessee game, right? Tennessee was leading the entire game, killing Alabama. And we didn't even bet on money line. We just bet on them covering the spread by 8.5 points. And then at the end of the game, Alabama starts killing them. And I think they go up by like 18 to end the game.
I'm telling you, dude, like Saban went into that at halftime, was like, listen up, motherfuckers. I'm pulling scholarships if y'all don't step it up. And the defense, they responded. They stepped it up. They did not allow Tennessee to do absolutely anything, dude. Killed them every time they were on offense. 3 and 4 and out all the time. Like, it was
He
it was
said
crazy.
it. It's his reputation every time he plays. It's like, oh, you only won by 2 touchdowns this game. What happened? Like, bro, he's more highly criticized than NFL coaches.
I mean, the guy's got a huge successful legacy, like just insane. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good for him. Bad for me because it cost me money, but it's all right. I'm done with college. I'm done.
Done. Do it.
I'm putting in the stamp. I'm done.
Just quit it.
I'm quitting. All right. let's get back to week 7 here. I didn't really watch the Raiders and Bears game. I'm sure, like I said, there was Bears fans that are happy about it, Bears fans that are upset. Not really. I mean, it might be worth a rewatch, if you're interested in seeing how they perform. But
Yeah,
looks like the
I mean,
Raiders, they just aren't having it. And I mean, without
what
a quarterback that can
on
really
both
throw the
sides, yeah,
ball,
yeah.
they're just wasting Devontae Adams over there, man. He's just wasting his talent sitting at that team.
I can't. He knew what he got. I mean, he knew what he was getting himself into. He chose to go to the Raiders. He chose to leave the Packers, which I mean, he could have maybe continued with Aaron Rodgers, maybe not. But I mean, he chose to go with him. He got a huge payday. He knew Derek Carr was the quarterback when he went over to that situation, and I mean, there was a little bit of history because they both played at college together. But I mean, dude, it's the NFL, and Derek Carr has not been great. Uh, I don't feel too bad for Devontae. I agree, like they are wasting his potential. They're wasting his prime years, but he's got to go. I feel he's got to go. Like try to go somewhere else to be
Yeah.
competitive because he's too talented.
Yeah, he's got to. He has to. That whole team needs to just get reworked because it's just like he's one of the top receivers in the NFL, and he got like 57 yards that game
Dude.
against the Bears. Like, come on, man. What are they
And
doing?
he was a top receiver with Derek Carr as his quarterback. Like imagine with him with someone like the Chiefs acquire him. That would be unfair. Like, but could you imagine him with Patrick Mahomes? Oh my
Dude, that
God,
would be insane.
insane.
That's definitely a Super Bowl contender right there. Super Bowl contending
Continuously,
team.
dude. Because yeah, that would be like another 3, 4 Super Bowls right there. That'd
They
be
should look.
crazy.
I'm sure somebody's looking into it, but they should definitely consider it because that's what they're. Aside from obviously Kelsey, they're
Mhm.
missing a true number one receiver.
Right.
It looks like.
Yeah. And it's crazy that they're so successful without one.
Yeah, it is right.
Yeah.
He Mahomes throws for like plus 300 yards, or I think last game they played, he got like 400 passing yards or something.
Mhm.
It's like with Kelsey and then a couple of receivers. Feels like he throws to a different receiver almost every play.
What's crazy is like you talked about Tom Brady's like he just give him a garbage man and a mailman. He's gonna
Yeah,
be amazing. And I mean Patrick Mahomes seems to be doing the same thing, man.
yeah. He definitely deserves all the hype as potentially
Mhm.
being the best quarterback we've ever seen. I I think it's legit. I really do.
He's got some work to do, but I mean he's definitely up there.
Yeah, still young, still plenty young.
Still young, yeah. That's the crazy part is he's still young and that team is still young and with quarterbacks that you can play till you're 30, 40 now.
Oh
So
yeah, he's got plenty of time to get more rings.
yeah.
I see it happening for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, cool, man. What other games do we want to talk about? I guess we could touch on. I'd say the biggest upset: Lions versus Ravens. I know it looks like the Lions were the underdogs going into it by like a couple points, but oh my god, dude,
I did not expect that.
6-38. What the hell happened? I didn't watch it,
I
but it's just embarrassing.
I didn't either, but it like you said, it I saw a little bit of the highlights near the end. Like, dude, the Ravens in the first quarter, they were completely outscoring them. Their offensive line was amazing.
Dude,
The Detroit Lions defense were in shambles.
bro, 14 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second quarter,
Ugh,
and they pumped the brakes a little bit in the second half and only scored 10 points combined
right.
in that second half. Yeah, Lions 6 points came from the fourth quarter. It's like, oh my good. And I mean, if you look at the stats for Jared Goff, he didn't have a terrible game. All right, he had kind of a terrible game. He had kind of a really he had a really terrible game. He threw for 284 yards. He threw 53 passes.
Jesus.
33 were
Oh my God.
completions. He missed 20 passes.
Dude, he was just
One
slinging that ball,
interception,
bro.
zero touchdowns. He was slinging that ball, dude. Jamar Gibbs obviously wasn't getting it done.
No.
68 yards, 11 carries. He had their touchdown. Um, I don't know, man. What is that? They should have just kept giving the ball to Jamar Gibbs. That ratio sounds pretty good. 68
Yeah,
yards with 11 carries is perfectly adequate.
I mean, they had some solid numbers. You look at Amon-Ra, he's 13 receptions, 102 yards. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it just seems like they weren't able to capitalize. I mean, even Gibbs
they
Gibbs
couldn't
had
do
58
anything.
receiving yards.
Did they have like a lot of turnovers? Were there pick sixes going on?
No, I don't
That's
think
just a
so.
ton of points.
Yeah, it was just honestly just the Ravens offense was just
Like
banging.
it looks like college numbers. Like it looks like a blowout you'd see from college.
Well, I mean, it was Tight Ends Day, National Tight End
Mhm.
Day, and I mean, Mark Andrews had an absolute stellar game, so maybe he got some superpowers from that. But dude, that it's
Lamar
they were
Jackson
killing
looks
it.
like he had a really good game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, oh yeah. What did he have? Oh my god. Okay, so he threw half of the passes that Goff did, and he completed 21 out of 27,
Wow,
357 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then some running touchdowns as well.
he was an MVP form for sure. I mean, yeah, 36 rushing yards.
Wow.
He's definitely back in his MVP form. I mean, he had Gus Edwards, Zay Flowers, and some. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, crazy. Mark Andrews, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. There you go.
Man.
Dude, that would have been a stellar bet. Like two touchdowns for Mark Andrews and Travis Kelsey. I'm pretty sure there's another tight end who got another 2 touchdowns as well. Like National Titans Day, like that was they definitely had their
Oh,
day.
Darren Waller for the Giants had a
Darren
touchdown.
Wall, yeah, there you go. So even I mean that would have been a great
Yeah.
parlay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wish we thought about that. No, if we bet it, it would have missed. Come on now.
Exactly.
Use your head. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. I might check that out for the Ravens. They're looking good, man. I mean, the Lions are no pushovers. Now both teams are 5-2,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, the Ravens are a team to watch, I suppose.
They seem to have turned it around. I mean, I think a lot of people. I mean, including me, counted them out, but they prove us wrong. They prove us wrong. It's always great to have a competitive season, just unexpected.
Yeah, I know. I put them down for making the playoffs I put down a bet for several teams to make the playoffs. I think I did 9 different teams.
Mhm.
Very stupidly of me because I had hope in the off season.
Bet
I
the
put the
Giants.
Giants, so that bet is toast.
Never know. They could turn it around.
That's highly unlikely, but I appreciate your optimism.
I mean,
That's a good friend right there.
they can make a trade with the Raiders, get Devontae Adams out there. Never
If we
know,
had
man.
Devontae Adams out there, Jalen Hyatt and Darren Waller, we'd be killing it.
And hey, man, he was teammates with Waller, so there might be a little whispering. It's like, hey, buddy, coming to New York,
Cool with it.
treat you right.
I am totally cool with it. Welcome him with open arms. I
Mhm.
guess we'll get into our team talks then. We'll
Okay.
talk about the Giants and Commanders game. This is
Yeah.
probably nobody probably watched this aside from Giants and Commanders fans. It was low scoring. 7-14. The Giants pulled off a W. They're 2-5 now, and Commanders dropped down to 3-4.
Did you take him to win? I don't remember.
With the Giants, yeah.
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 Okay.
Like we talked about, the Giants usually play well against the Commanders, like the Commanders usually play well against the Eagles. Just the divisional whatever, they figured it out. So the Giants dropped 2 touchdowns in the second quarter. That was all their points for the entire day, and the Commanders had 1 touchdown.
Hmm.
A lot of defensive moves and plays by each team. A lot of serious screw ups by the Giants. Freaking fumble by Barkley at like the 8-yard line when they were about to score. During a punt return, Sterling Shepard muffed it, and that led to the Commanders' only touchdown. It's like just awful penalties. Awful screw ups. A couple of penalties screwed us as well, though. Like a headhunting call, targeting / hitting a defenseless receiver on
Was
us.
it blatant? Was it actual penalty, or is it just one of those BS ones?
It's whatever. I mean, they're always gonna call it. The dude, it was McLaurin. He caught the ball, and was it Xavier McKinney came in? Yeah, it was like shoulder to helmet, helmet to helmet contact. It's like, yeah, they're always gonna call that dude.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I'm not too mad about it since they pulled off the W, and we saw a lot of really good things from the defense. So it looks like progress. They kind of continued some of the things that they looked good on with the Buffalo Bills game. Defense showing up, doing what they're supposed to. Offense having a lot of issues and failing to get rolling.
Yeah.
But like I said, they did make some things happen. Darren Waller scored his first touchdown of the season for the Giants, his first touchdown as a Giant. And that was their first half touchdown of the season.
Jesus.
By the offense.
How are we 7 games in and he's only scored 1?
That was their first home game touchdown.
Oh my God.
It was the first touchdown at MetLife.
Oh my God.
How gross is that?
7 games in. He's talented as hell too, man. Like, I think people when he went there, he was expecting to get consistent.
He should if they didn't have whatever issues they've had, he should have been getting a touchdown every game, just like Barkley. Like right. He was brought in to be their number 1 receiver. Like he should be getting the ball routinely. He had like 100 yards receiving. He should be getting that every game. Touching every game. Same with Barkley. Barkley should be getting a lot of touches and getting in that end zone every single game. Multiple times, really, since he's he catches a lot of passes as well. You know, he's not just their running back. It's a lot of catches, and his touchdown came in the form of a reception touchdown. So I have a bet going for Saquon Barkley to get 10 plus rushing touchdowns. And 2 of his touchdowns this season are from receptions. So,
oh no!
And obviously, yeah, he's been out for like 4 weeks already. So I'm fighting an upward battle right now.
I mean, you never know, bro. Like how you can just turn it up and
yeah. Christian McCaffrey, he had like who'd they play? I think they played the Cardinals. He had like 3 touchdowns playing them, and they pulled him out because they got bored.
Let's hope they have that kind of game, man. You never know.
You never know, dude. Maybe against the Cowboys. 40-0 against the Cowboys. Let's go. That'd be good.
So, do you still think about that?
That opening game. All my hope for this season, it was gone that game. I'm like, we can't even score in our home. This is man. All my hope is gone. Like I'm a hollow man this season.
I didn't realize.
Like, yeah, the win's all right. It doesn't matter. I'm broken inside. Unless we put up like 40 points against the Cowboys in their house, nothing matters.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way.
That would be the only way to save ourselves from that embarrassment and from losing 4 out of our first 6 games were primetime games, and we lost every single one of them. It's like, dude, like how embarrassing is that?
They were featured a lot so far, man. Like, I don't know what kind of contract they got, but damn, I was like, oh, they're on primetime again. Wow.
It's like, yeah, the New York sports market's big. They made a lot of off-season moves. They're like, oh, it might be a competitive team. And then they paired them obviously with all good teams, you know, like the Cowboys, Niners, Bills, Dolphins. Well, the Dolphins wasn't prime time, but they paired them with all these good teams. It's like, oh, it should be a good game.
Like,
fucking embarrassing, dude.
Hey, you thought?
I was foolish. I was a fool.
You were a lad with hope.
Yeah. Delusions. It's funny though, seeing like posts under the Giants where they have like their victory, like 14-7 victory, and under the comments, people are like, we're going to the Super Bowl again, and then in parentheses, they're like, I'm delusional. All the fans know. None of us have real hope. So it's all good. It's all
Not
good,
this
man.
year. Next year, man. Next year.
As long as we can keep this team together, I'm cool with it because we brought in just too many pieces. They didn't get enough time to play together.
Mm-hmm.
But now, now it's working. It's coming together now. So I just want this team to stay the same. Let's get another year with this team and see what we can do. That's where I'm at mentally. That's how I can cope and not put a. That's how I can get through the day and not put a gun in my mouth looking at our team right now. That's how I get through it.
It's a daily battle, my guy.
It is. It is an internal struggle. But enough about the Giants' woes. Let's sit on your Eagles, who obviously you picked to win. I didn't. I thought that the Dolphins just looked too much like an offensive powerhouse. I thought that they'd pull it off. Not the case.
Not today.
Not the case. Tell us all about your team. Tell us about the game.
Dude, first of all, their jerseys, the Kelly green. Oh my God.
Pretty sick. I like the helmets too.
Dude, so
like the
sick, so
helmet color.
clean. Even the logo on the field was dope, bro. That looked freaking nice. The hoodies that they were rocking on the sidelines. But absolute amazing game. I was so happy. We finally got a win where it was like, okay, this is the Eagles team that we were looking for. This is like the offensive and defensive powerhouse. Obviously, Jalen Hurts had a couple struggles near the beginning, had some interceptions, some unfortunate plays. It did seem like he might have injured his knee at the half, but he came back in and just that one play where he looked like he was going to get sacked, runs over to the right side and throws like a 40-yard bomb to AJ Brown was absolutely amazing. Oh my God, got me hyped.
This is the Super Bowl contending team,
dude,
that we've been waiting for all season.
Oh, I was so happy.
They've been teasing you throughout the season. They've had some flashes of grandeur, right? They showed a little bit. But this is the game where they show they're like, yeah, we went to the Super Bowl last year. We're trying to go again.
Yeah, especially against a good team like the Dolphins, like you said, an offensive powerhouse. Like I was like,
that is a statement win right there.
I was really nervous going to this game because of the injuries to the secondary, Blankenship being out. I was thinking Tyreek Hill's gonna absolutely smoke us. Which him and was it Waddle? He was getting some open plays, some open looks there.
Yeah, Waddle had issues. I think he got injured a little bit throughout the game. He was coming back in. I mean, neither of them did bad. Like Tyreek Hill, probably a low for him. 11 receptions for 88 yards. Jalen Waddle had 6 receptions for 63 yards. I mean, not terrible if you compare them to other teams and other receivers, but for the Miami Dolphins of 2023,
right?
Not the numbers we expect.
Well, we got kind of lucky with Tyreek Hill. He had a really timely fumble that looked like it was going to go for a touchdown. So that might have been a score there. I know that I will say there were some penalties where I'm like, okay, maybe we got away with it. Maybe we got away with
it.
That
Like, face mask.
That was
pulling him back from getting that pass, from catching that pass. That one was the one that sticks out to me. Like, are we not gonna call that?
I was like, all right, man, we've been screwed by penalties in the Super Bowl too. Let's go.
When the defender's hand goes to the receiver's face and the receiver's helmet turns sideways,
that's a penalty. Looked that way. No, he looked.
That's fair. Okay.
Sure. I'll tell you what though, man, 4 for 4 on the brotherly shove. I was so hyped, man. I was watching it. I was like, oh, they're at the 1 yard line. I was like, I think I texted. He's like, oh no, what are they gonna do here? Let's see.
Right.
Freaking dude, I don't know. Like, I wish I could show highlights of it. Oh my God, they just absolutely destroyed the freaking D line of the Dolphins. They just moved them like 5-6 yards.
They figured it out, dude. That brotherly shove, like they figured it out. And other teams have tried it. The Giants have tried it, failed. Plenty of other teams. They just don't have whatever the Eagles got going on.
Dude,
like you talked about Jalen Hurts, his 600-pound squat.
Jason Kelce leading the charge.
Kelce is the center. Yep. Nice power. There, they figured it out.
Dude,
so if they get to the end zone again in the Super Bowl, it's gonna be a touchdown.
You know what's coming. Like
Good.
Sirianni said in the post conference, like, please do not ban this play. And he looks in the camera. He's like, if everyone could do it, everyone would.
Yeah, I watched
Like,
that. And he's right. Everybody else has tried it. I think every other team has
yeah,
tried this at one point or
at one
another.
point.
Yeah, they're like QB sneak. They're trying to do this brotherly shove thing. It doesn't work.
No, they haven't. And then again, 4 for 4. And I'm telling you, like, so like the defensive line was like, they would push, the O line would push them, and they would just move 5-6 yards, like
Crazy.
get
It's
absolutely
crazy.
trucked over,
Because you
dude.
got like the biggest boys at the front of that D line. If them get moved like that,
And everyone knows the play. Everyone knows what's coming. There's
yeah,
no
you
trick
know
plays
exactly
here.
what's gonna happen.
They're like, all right, he's gonna try to push me over. This is what we gotta do. And it never, it like 92% of the time it works. And oh,
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah, and it's not a play, like we said, that should be banned because it's not a hack, it's not a cheat. It's not
Mm-mm.
like some of the other plays that have been banned. I was just watching a highlight earlier where one team in particular would send a guy all the way back into the end zone for field goal attempts, and he would jump and try to block the ball from going into the goalposts. It's like, yeah, like
Okay.
that's anybody can do that, and that's yeah, that doesn't make it a fair field goal. That totally makes sense.
Right.
Not everybody can do this quarterback sneak like they're doing. Totally different.
No. Totally different, man. Like, it's I will say, like, if I was the opposing team as a fan, I would be pissed. I might see them lined up and like, oh, like, oh well, here we go. They're gonna do this quarterback sneak.
Yep.
I will admit it is nice seeing your team be the ones that have mastered this. But like you said, it's not a cheat.
No,
Everyone
I
knows
wish we
what's
could do it.
coming. Everyone, if you guys, yeah, if everyone could do it, everyone would.
Yep. I wish we could. That's for
Dude,
sure.
I was so hype. I'm over here holding my 2-month-old. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Good for you. Good for you. That's a big win for you guys. And so going into next week for you guys playing Washington, obviously, team that kind of has you guys dialed in. You guys got to carry that momentum, put those Commanders down.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a good one. Hopefully, like you said, they finally were able to get a good win against a good team. So hopefully they're able to carry this momentum. Redskin, oop, oop, oop. Rewind. The Commanders. I don't want to get canceled. The Commanders. They play us really well, but I mean, hopefully the Eagles have it dialed in right now. It seems like they do. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts does have a little bit of injury. We'll see about his leg, his thigh.
We'll
I
see.
mean, we'll see, but
We'll see once we get closer. We talk about it on a Saturday. We'll see if we have
mhm,
any updates on that.
yeah.
It'll be a good one. Cool, man. If you don't have anything else on your Eagles, let's talk about a couple of other games. One of the big ones was the Chargers versus Chiefs, who are going to change their name soon. The way things are going, they won't be the Chiefs. They'll be the Kansas City. The Kansas City something.
The Kansas City. I don't even know. I was gonna throw something out there. I have no idea.
Probably something awful like Commanders. They'll be the Kansas City Defenders. They'll steal from the XFL.
That's kind of a cool name though.
Yeah, but like
Is it cool?
DC Defenders makes sense
Mm-hmm.
because it has a D in it.
Yeah.
Washington Commanders doesn't make any sense and is really stupid. But with that said, Chargers and Chiefs. Chiefs won. We kind of expected them to win 17-31. I tuned into this a little bit. I was kind of flipping between this one and the Cardinals and Seahawks
Mm-hmm.
game. Did you catch any of this game?
Like you said, I watched a little bit of it. So also flipping back and forth, but I did watch a couple of the highlights, man. And I was telling you, and I was following you too because I have Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler on my fantasy. Dude, they just Chargers blow, bro. Like
Yeah,
they're just
man.
as inconsistent as the freaking
Chokers,
Bills.
dude. They're chokers big time. I have Herbert as my quarterback. Like, dude, there was one. Who's the quarterback that did like just as well? Goff had an awful game, and he did like just as well as Herbert did on fantasy, if I remember right.
17 for 30. He had 259 yards, but 2 interceptions, man. Like,
yep,
it's
one touchdown throw, which is not. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, he's like a top 5 passing quarterback. It's like, I mean, I didn't draft him in my fantasy to have an okay game. He should be dropping 2 or 3 touchdown passes every game. He has the talent to. He's got the receivers too, for sure, man. But Keenan Allen wasn't there.
He didn't do anything. Austin Eckler didn't do anything. It was just the stars were not there. The stars were not there. They couldn't do anything.
Palmer, Joshua Palmer was there. He had 5 receptions for 133 yards, an average of 26.5 yards per reception, which is insane. But he was their bright spot, it looked like, in their offense.
Yeah, and I'm looking over right now. Patrick Mahomes, 424 yards.
Yeah, bro.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
4
touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Travis Kelce, 179 yards. Holy shit.
The pass game was working, so they barely even ran the ball, dude. Isaiah Pacheco, I have him on my fantasy. He only got 32 yards. That was a rough one. But yeah, they have it figured out. Like we talked about, the Chiefs don't really have a true number one receiver, aside from obviously tight end being in Kelce. But you know, they combined for a ton of receptions. Valdez Scantling, Rashee Rice, Pacheco got almost as many yards receiving as he did rushing. Yeah, man. Kadarius Toney had 1 catch for 13 yards even.
Yeah,
so,
not well, yeah, I mean, imagine if they had Devontae Adams. Imagine if they had a star
crazy,
wide receiver.
Bro. Mahomes would have dropped 500 yards from those Chargers.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Especially his yard after carry, capacity. Like,
this Chargers team was so bad, man.
Chokers, dude.
So bad. 5 sacks allowed. They sacked Herbert 5 times.
And obviously the defense couldn't get any stops if they're allowing 424 yards in the air. A lot of that was yards after catch.
Which is, I mean, you know where the ball's at. I mean,
yeah, dude. How is Kelce like outrunning, outmaneuvering? That's one of the biggest guys on the field. How is he outmaneuvering these defenders, dude? It's crazy.
Great route running, great separation, just explosiveness, like insane.
Yeah. So we'll see. I want to see the Chargers do well. I like Herbert. I like Keenan Allen. I like Austin Eckler. It's just, something they're 2-4. They need to start winning some games or they're not even going to make a wild card spot.
Yeah. Did you see that they showed the Chargers fan again with a Buffalo Wild Wings hat?
I saw at the beginning of the game. Oh man, I'm like between showing this fan and then showing Taylor Swift and Mahomes family, between every play, like I can't I can't tune into that. I hope we don't have to see that matchup again.
Oh my god, that's great though for that Chargers fan. If she's a real person, like I would have, like, yeah, I'd sell out. I'll wear whatever merchandise you want me to wear. Just lifetime supply of wings. Give me a $10,000. Like, yeah, I'll take it. Sign me up.
Absolutely. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Good for her. And when she's at a Vikings game next week, she'll do the same thing for whatever they have over in Minnesota.
What about that Viking? You want to talk about that Vikings game?
Yeah, that's the one we have to hit because that was the Monday night game. Okay. All right. So obviously we picked the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
We picked them to cover the spread. What happened, dude? Like, we watched this one in its entirety. Just a complete breakdown of the offense, just like against the Browns. Brock Purdy showed some serious weaknesses. Christian McCaffrey was getting stuffed in the run game by the Vikings defense. However that happens. Of course, he still got his touchdown. He's
Mm-hmm.
continued there for what is it, 16 games straight now?
Something like that.
Yep. Good for him. But it's 15 carries for 45 yards, average of 3 yards per carry, which is below average for an NFL running back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not good. Brock Purdy, 21 out of 30, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 2 of the costliest interceptions of the week. Like interceptions that were so important of passes for him not to screw up that he did.
That
Like they
Vikings
were,
defense played it great though.
which is wild because they haven't been playing good at all this season. Like against
They've
your
been throwing the
Eagles,
games. Yeah, they've been
yeah,
throwing the games.
yeah, they haven't been able to keep Kirk Cousins in the game. Which now with this game, they absolutely did. They let him. They let him get what he needed. Let him make a couple of mistakes here and there. They played great. They played lights out. There's something I wanted to say about the. Oh yeah, about Purdy. It was like at the end of the game where it's the most important, and you throw an interception. It's like at the same level of these college games that we were talking about, where it's like the motions get through, they get in their head, and they just start playing like kids, and they make really bad mistakes and decisions. What those throws, they weren't close in any way. They were bad passes.
Yeah.
That first interception he threw was literally right to the defender, nowhere close to his receiver. Whereas on the other side of the ball, with Kirk Cousins, his interception that he threw was kind of like stripped away from his receiver. So it was like, they were fighting over the ball, not really on him. That one touchdown pass that he threw though should have been an interception.
Dude,
and his receiver pulled that away, dude. Addison was going off. He stripped that ball out of the defender's hands.
I am so pissed off. I had him on my fantasy. I drafted him like near the last round, and he wasn't doing anything for. Obviously, he was just sitting on my bench. I think I just
behind
trade
Justin
him
Jefferson. Why would you start him?
I just traded him away for something, and then for I don't know for what. I don't even remember. But these last 2 games, bro, he's been since JJ's been out. 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. I am so sad, especially after losing. So my biggest flaw in fantasy is my wide receiver room. Like I have Amari Cooper, dog shit. Keenan Allen, not been great. Calvin really had one great game. He's fucking disappointing now. And I could have easily thrown him in. And for some reason, I decided to just throw away Jordan Addison. And I decided to keep Christian Watson, who hasn't done shit at all.
He's another one. Yeah.
Like, oh my God. My brother-in-law Zach picked him up, and I'm sure he's absolutely stellar happy right now. I'm so sad. I saw that game he had, and I was like, "Are you kidding me, bro?" I could have had the missing piece.
Yeah,
on my team
with Jefferson out for a while.
Oh, dude,
he's so fast. He has such good hands too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, he is. It's unfortunate he's in the shadow of Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's easily, wide receiver number 1 for any other team.
And he's only a rookie. Wait, this is his first year?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Let's see. Yeah. Drafted this year, rookie. And I think he played at USC. Oh, no, Pittsburgh, not USC. But yeah, man, like.
Good for him.
Oh, no, he did play for USC. Okay, I was right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, he played for USC. But dude, like, such a bad throwaway on my part. But oh well, it happens, right?
I'm not doing too hot either right now. My running back room is tough. I do have Barkley, but he's been out for the last 4 weeks, and some games he's not been playing well. My other one, I had James Conner. He's out for a while, so my running back room is struggling, dude. I picked up Zach Moss.
Okay, yeah.
He was available, and I was looking through. It's like he's had consistent games. He's one of the top running backs in rushing yards right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to start going down now since he's number 2. But yeah, man. Aside from that, my running back room is not in good shape.
I'll take AJ Brown away from you if you want. I'll throw you running back.
I want to have at least a chance to win something. I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Fair.
Yeah, you probably have better receiver room than I do, honestly. I have Terry McLaurin and T. Higgins. Terrible, man.
You have a Bronco, don't you, as well?
I don't have any Broncos. Thank God.
No,
I don't. Somebody has Judy, and he's not doing good.
No, I forget who, but yeah, this.
Nope. I picked up. I mean, I've had DJ Moore. He's had some great games, not great games. AJ Brown obviously does great, and then the player that was unavailable or that was just available was Nico Collins.
Oh yeah,
and I know I picked him up right before you got to him.
I know, man.
So he's gonna be my flex going into this week 8. We'll see how he does.
I hope he does great for you, since
I hope so, man.
You took from me.
From players with receiving yards this season, I have 3 of the top 10, and my fantasy is my team is 2 wins and 5 losses. So that's not helping me.
No, it's a tough year for fantasy. Some stars are showing up, some stars aren't. A lot of injuries, but yeah, Amari Cooper's been disappointing. Calvin Ridley's been disappointing. I'm looking forward to next year fantasy, but finish out this year.
Finish it a little more.
Yeah,
definitely. Oh, cool, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about with that Niners and Vikings game aside from our boy Kirk Cousins showing up?
No, this is just absolutely unexpected game, man. What can I say?
I guess not. I mean, Niners showed weakness last week. They didn't look great.
They didn't get any sacks either.
Debo. Yeah, without Debo on the offensive line, and then on the offensive side, and then defensively, I don't know what's going on. It's like all these players that have gotten paid a ton of money have just not been performing this year.
No.
Yeah. That was a disaster from them. And the Vikings just capitalized on it again.
Good for them. They needed it. They needed this win.
Yeah, they did. They moved to 3-4, and now they're back in running for the North. You know, if they can get a couple more wins, Lions get a couple more losses, they can compete with the Lions for the NFC North. Potentially. Yep. It depends. I was looking at their schedule. They don't have a hard schedule, really. Like, yeah, they play the Lions a couple times, but aside from that, man, they play the Packers, they play the Bears. They played very winnable games for most of the rest of the season. So we'll see how it goes for him.
We'll see.
I'm excited. I'm rooting for Kirk Cousins.
It's hard not to, man, especially such a likable guy. If you watch the quarterback show on Netflix, super likable guy, like family man, freaking dork, but he's awesome, man. Like it's hard to hate him.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Well, cool, man. I think that about wraps up all of the games from week 7. If you're ready, we can get into week 8 and talk about our matchup here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So obviously we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So with this, a couple of key things to look at. First, Buffalo Bills are 4-3 right now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3-3. So both these teams are very realistically, fighting for playoff spots still in this early season. Very realistic for either of them to either head in or get held out. Especially the Bills keep playing like they've been playing the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills, they've been struggling. Especially that game against the Patriots. Offensively, not good. A lot of mistakes and missed opportunities. Like last season, they were exciting to watch. And oh my goodness, trying to watch that Patriots game, at least the first half, it's terrible. Oh, we'll see how they play going into this game, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have some momentum coming into this game, right?
Yeah. They've been the surprise for me. Like Baker Mayfield, a lot of people count him out. He's been playing pretty great.
Yeah, not playing bad at all. See, what are his averages right now? Because right now the team is averaging about 220 yards passing per game. They're allowing about 250 yards a game though, and most of the games that they've been in haven't been the highest scoring. They score about 17 points a game, allow about 17 points in a game. And then the rushing side of it, they don't rush for a whole lot of yards, 77 average. They allow about 95. So, I mean, not great numbers. They're usually getting outpassed and outrushed and outscored. But the Bills have so many weaknesses right now, dude. I don't know if I could pick them to come out on top of this.
It's either they're gonna beat the Buccaneers by 30 or they're gonna lose by 25. Like it's gonna go one way or the other. It's always the extreme with these Bills.
Yeah, it's just so inconsistent, like we were talking about earlier. I mean, as a whole, if you look at the stats, the Bills in the air, they're throwing 260 almost yards per game, only allowing about 200 yards in the air a game. Rushing 112, and they're allowing about 128. So getting out rushed a little bit, but I mean, not terrible statistics. It's just warning signs here from the last two games that they've played. Like you said, either they tighten it up and they're going to blow out the Bucks, or the Bucks are going to murder them. We'll see,
Hopefully
man.
the Bucks. I'm hoping the Bucks beat them. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of any New York team, but with the way that the Bills have been playing, they deserve it. They deserve an L until they can start figuring their issues.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else about this game before we get into our predictions? I guess we could touch on some of the injuries that are worth noting.
What do you got for me?
So we'll know a little bit more once we get closer, the day of. But Josh Allen, he has a right shoulder injury he's dealing with. He has been practicing. He practiced today, full practice. So I'm sure he'll start. That's just something to be aware of. Von Miller on the defensive side.
He's been out for a bit.
He's been out for a little bit. He did have a full practice today. So we will see if he's good to start. I would say probably. Dawson Knox, their tight end, he is out. He will not be playing. As far as the key points for them, that's about all the key injuries we have right now. Tampa Bay Bucks, Chris Godwin, he is questionable going into this game. He did have a full practice today, but he's questionable. One to note, and the bets will show this, that Baker Mayfield probably isn't showing up in there right now because he is questionable going into this game. He's dealing with a knee injury. He did have a full practice on Wednesday, but he's still listed as questionable. I'd say he's probably going to start in this game. They'll probably just do a Trevor Lawrence and cast that thing up or brace it and let him do his thing. He primarily passed the ball. Anyway, he doesn't do a lot of running.
Yeah, and he's a dog too, man. He's definitely going to want to be out there, be competitive, especially against I'd say a top polarizing team like the Bills. Like if he can get a win again, if he can lead the Buccaneers to a win against the Bills, great momentum boost, great,
Absolutely.
just for all around. So I'm sure he's definitely going to want to be out there slinging the ball.
Absolutely. I agree.
Especially when the Bills look so vulnerable right now. Like
they do look vulnerable. They look like they're ripe for getting a beating like they did against the Patriots. And it's a short week too. So they don't have a lot of time to recover from that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Anything else about these games? Are you ready to get into our picks?
Let's get into the picks, man. Let's get this going.
Let's do it. So, gentlemen first. You go ahead. I'll let you go, and then I'll give you mine.
All right.
Let me take myself out of here.
These are my picks for the Thursday night football game: Bills versus Buccaneers. For starters, I'm gonna take the Buccaneers plus 8.5. Bills have not been playing great. They're on a losing streak right now. They look like the most inconsistent team. I like the Buccaneers at this. I'll take them plus 8.5. Hopefully they get the win. That'd be an amazing victory, amazing boost for the team. Great morale. So next I have Rashad White under 46.5 rushing. He's only gone rushing over twice this season. This is a pretty good rushing defense that he's going to be facing. So I'll take him under 46.5. Next I have Mike Evans, anytime touchdown. Chris Godwin possibly being injured. Looks to Mike Evans to get some touches. Hopefully he gets the touchdown here. Bills defense receiving, they have been vulnerable at times. So let's hope Mike Evans gets a touchdown. Next I have Josh Allen rushing over 23.5 yards. I think this is an easy number for Josh to get, especially against a Buccaneers defense where they have some weapons on both sides and they might be distracted. And last, I'll just take Gabe Davis, 25 yards receiving.
These are my 5 picks for Thursday Night Football. Buccaneers versus Bills. Bucks, 8.5 points. The Bills have not been playing well lately. Last 2 weeks, they've been playing pretty terribly. I see the Buccaneers coming in this game with momentum. I see them keeping it close, well within 8.5 points, maybe even squeaking out a victory. Next, I have Josh Allen, 225 plus passing yards. Pretty reasonable number for him. He's usually passing for a lot of yards, so I say this is a pretty good bet to take. Next, I have Baker Mayfield, 200 plus passing yards with the Bills in this compromised and vulnerable state. I like Baker Mayfield throwing here for a lot of yards. Next, Stephon Diggs, over 86.5 receiving yards. He is true number 1 receiver for the Buffalo Bills. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is not great in the air. So I see Stephon Diggs capitalizing on that. And last, I have Mike Evans, over 57.5 receiving yards. Mike Evans should be putting on a good performance here against the Buffalo Bills. So those are my 5 picks for Thursday Night Football.
All right. Well, it seems like we both feel like the Buccaneers can cover.
Yeah.
If hopefully win. I mean, 8.5, that's a pretty big spread. So
it is, right?
Yeah.
That is a large spread. So we're thinking that and they're still thinking that the Bills are the Bills of earlier this season and of last season. I don't know if that's going to be the case, man.
I mean,
Vegas,
this
might be the comeback game.
Especially with Vegas, like last week, how I think you sent me that meme where they just absolutely cleaned house on the spread. It was just a bad week for the spread.
Yeah, over what was it? Like all of the teams that 70% of people favored and bet on, all of them didn't cover. Every single one. And like 7 of those teams actually lost the game.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, Vegas had a good week.
There's no beating Vegas, man. Sometimes you just bend over and take it.
Yeah, that's what we do as sports bettors. So we bend over and take it, and then sometimes we get a little bit for ourselves.
A little reach around.
Just a little bit. Nothing too much. Just a little taste, just to keep us involved. Keep us from going anywhere.
We don't know any better, bro.
We don't, man. We just keep coming back for more. Cool. Anything else in that Thursday night football game?
No, I like our picks. I
do too. I think it's going to be a good passing game. I kind of like the yards. Stephon Diggs that I picked is a little bit higher as far as receiving yards go, but I mean he averages tons of yards per game. As long as Josh Allen throws to him often, I'm cool with it.
I'm sure Diggs will just cry if he doesn't, though.
Cry and slam tablets.
Tablets are not his friends.
No, they're the
I would
enemy.
hate to be a tablet. I would hate to be a tablet and see Diggs coming at me, man. I was like, oh, well, I'm getting freaking slammed here.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if he's so unhappy there, he can come just a little further down south over to New Jersey and play for the Giants.
The New Jersey Giants.
Love to have him in New Jersey. Be a New Jersey Giant. Cool, man. Is that all we got?
I think so, man.
All right, cool. Well, that's everything we have for today then. If you got this far, please leave a like and follow for more football content. Well, that's everything we got. So see you on the next Spitball Sports Show. Thanks for watching.
Bye.